Liz Holtzman was a member of Congress for years and years from representing New York State, and well, in Brooklyn. And she, up until last week, was a member of the Department of Homeland Security's Advisory Council. And she wrote a letter, July 16th, to Kirstjen Nielsen, the Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security. And I just want to quote pieces of the letter to you. There was a time that the U.S. welcomed refugees, she says. Well, actually, let me start at the beginning. As an author of the Refugee Act of 1980, along with Senator Ted Kennedy, I believe the treatment of refugees by you and President Trump violates that law and our treaty obligations to refugees. There was a time that the U.S. welcomed refugees. We readily accepted and absorbed more than 600,000 from Cuba, 750,000 refugees from Vietnam, and more than 100,000 Jews from the Soviet Union. Considering that history, the thought that the U.S. government is afraid today of 2,000 children and their parents is both laughable and appalling. Under your administration, she's talking to Kirstjen Nielsen, the Secretary of Homeland Security, cabinet official. Under your administration and that of Donald Trump's, DHS has been transformed into an agency that is making war on immigrants and refugees. The ethnically and religiously motivated travel ban, the refusal to provide relief to the Dreamers, and the new mass deportation program that does not prioritize the removal of undocumented aliens with serious criminal records, thereby harming American citizen children and spouses by removing a parent and breadwinner from the family and hurting our country by removing productive people who've been living here for decades. Your policies are malign and ultimately self-destructive. The final straw for me has been the separation of children from their parents at the southern border. This is child kidnapping, plain and simple. Seizing children from their parents is a violation of the constitutional rights of both, and that's bad enough, mentally harmful to the children and infinitely painful to both the parents and the children. But do so without creating proper records to enable family reunification shows utter depravity on the part of the government officials involved. Although it is I who am resigning in protest against these policies, Elizabeth Holtzman says to Kirstjen Nielsen, it is you who should be tendering your resignation instead. Wham! Daily Kos is reporting that a new Republican grassroots effort has sprung up to force seniors to pay more for prescription drugs. Seriously, it's a grassroots effort by Republicans all across the country to change the Medicare laws so that discounts, if you fall into the donut hole, when you're in that, if you've spent more than about $2,000 but not yet $5,000 on drugs for the year, the drug companies have to give you a discount. And this grassroots Republican group wants to do away with those discounts and, hey, more profits for the drug companies. Turns out the grassroots Republican group is probably Big Pharma.